So we got another video. Tyler Oliveira dropped a new video.
This is Reserve, Louisiana.
Holy shit, we got any Louisiana chatters?
Cancer capital of America.
Might just died like day before yesterday from cancer.
You got plenty of time.
died of cancer. I hope I don't have cancer.
The EPA says the cancer risk here is almost 50 times the national average.
The plant puts people who live
Why would people live there if you have a 50% more likelihood to have cancer?
work near the facility at the highest risk of developing cancer in the country.
More than 100 petrochemical plants and refineries dot this corridor between New Orleans and Baton Rouge, often referred to as Cancer Alley.
Oh
half
my
mile farther
God.
away, and the cancer rate drops significantly.
But how many people actually have cancer here, and what can be done to stop this? So I met up with Robert,
the
an 82-year-old lifetime resident of Reserve who lives a few blocks from the plant.
I lost my mother to a weird cancer. My brother, my other daughters had cancers. My neighbors and friends.
Robert, where are we right now?
You're in the center of Cancer Alley.
How long have you lived here?
I was born here
Hey.
in 1940.
Then why haven't you left?
The petrochemical industry showed up. They treat us like we're animals or something. I mean, it's terrible. If we go up and down this community, you won't find a home here that hasn't been touched by cancer. Really, it is
Wow.
that bad.
Hey there. We're knocking door to door. We're trying to talk to people that live here and ask them about Cancer Alley and see if they know anyone who's had cancer.
How you taking pictures, man? Get away from my
Oh,
house.
okay. Sorry.
Get away
Thanks
from my
much.
house.
See ya. Sorry.
I ain't got no cancer out here.
Okay.
Jesus.
Is it like a controversial thing?
Take no pictures.
No?
No cancer. No cancer. Stop asking.
Okay. They were pissed.
Because
Yeah.
because you're asking like bums.
I didn't know that. I would have went with you. I'm a holler.
I just about to see all them plants around here. Everybody got cancer. I got throat cancer.
You
I
got
don't want to be on no news.
Okay, so it is a
Oh,
contentious
shit.
thing to talk about it here. We're getting told to f off, get the f out of here. There's a lot of sensitivity about this topic for obvious reasons.
Damn.
Robert told me a lot of people in Reserve work for these plants or know someone that does. So speaking out on the relationship between the plant and cancer is somewhat taboo.
Do you know anyone who's gotten cancer out here? Is it pretty common for people to get it out here?
You got this plant called Decker. That's the one that's polluting all the cancer. So you might want to go to the last street. It's called 30th. That's where it's doing the most killing at.
Okay.
Somebody just
Oh my
died like
God.
Day before yesterday from cancer. A lot of my people died from cancer.
And these factories are the ones polluting? Okay. Thank you for your time, sir. 30th seems to be the
Damn.
epicenter. It is the closest to these factories out here. We're gonna pull up to these real quick, see who and what we can find.
But before I spoke to people living on 30th, I drove to the infamous DuPont Danka plant emitting chloroprene into the air and giving the people that live nearby
Chloroprene?
cancer. 4
What
years
is
ago,
that?
Robert flew 7,000 miles to their headquarters in Tokyo, Japan, and tried to get answers from the executives.
some people who you know and who you represent are profiteering off of the suffering that's being put on my people by DuPont Danka.
They were turned away. Danka later told them they couldn't meet because of pending litigation.
They demonstrated to us today that they
Wow.
don't care about what's happening to the people
That's bold. He went to Japan and did all that.
in Reserve, Louisiana. You know, I brought people on tours and I went right in the front right there, I parked. And they called the police for me. First, they sent out the guard, come running out.
As we drove in undetected, I began to notice some rather ironic signs placed everywhere.
Think safe, stay safe from cancer that we're giving you and your family. Safety is everyone's
They're just pulling up to the
responsibility. The irony
plant.
of these signs is that everyone living
They'll
around
live
this
there.
factory is getting cancer.
And little did I know, the DuPont Danka plant was one of over 150 petrochemical plants along what's known as Cancer Alley, an 85-mile stretch of land along the
150 of
Mississippi
them?
River between Baton Rouge and New Orleans.
Why is there so
Environmentalists
many
refer
right
to
there?
Cancer Alley as a sacrifice zone, but DuPont Danka claims
The company says the EPA's chloroprene concerns are based on faulty science, resulting in a dramatically inflated risk factor.
Surrounding this entire city, we see factories right now.
Look at this
With
horrible
those
thing right
signs.
here, man. This is our grain elevator. They do import and exports of grains.
And this also pollutes the environment.
Oh, terribly so. It's what's called grain dust.
That contaminated water right there, could I drink from it?
No, you can't drink from the city water here. We don't drink the water here, we buy water.
Could I take a shower out
Jesus.
here? Do people get...
Well, that's the one thing that we're worried about because we can't find a way to take a shower. We've got a shower in this water. This is the one
Wow,
plant
that
that I was
sucks.
telling you that produces
up,
it
man?
known carcinogen. There's just so many of them. And they're right next door to what is called now.
They're all together,
This is
too.
entirely different chemical.
What are we in front of right now? I'm feeling a little burn in the eyes.
This is an aluminum factory, and this horrible stuff you see here pervades this whole community.
What health effects is this aluminum known to have on people?
That they're quiet about that.
They're quiet about it. I can taste something in the air right now.
Jesus.
Feel it burn my eyes a little bit. Factories everywhere.
Seeing all of
Literally.
these plants pollute the air,
All
water,
this
and
one
soil
area.
with various carcinogens, you might be wondering,
Do that
Why
job.
haven't you moved?
Why should I move? How can I move? I struggled all my life to build this. What is happening in
And cancer
Americans,
too,
a
lets
poor
them go through the
person
business
right
pay, they
now,
let them
in
pollute.
good conscience?
They said it's a sacrifice zone. They're just gonna let it go because we need the products, we need the chemicals.
Would I actually sell this house to? What poor, unsuspecting family would I trick into moving into this debt trap?
and to add insult to injury, Robert lived here before the plants were even
Jeez.
built.
In 1963, I noticed the construction. We could see the construction going on when we passed on the highway right there. But we knew nothing about it. No, they never talked to us formally. We saw the white residents moving out. We didn't know why.
And how do they know?
shit.
Because they told them. I had to move my wife out. My wife is living in Anaheim, California with my youngest son. My baby daughter got this very rare disease that her doctors told her was brought on by her lifelong exposure to chloroprene. I had to move. She's in New Orleans. The disease
Wow.
she got is so rare. It's terrible, man.
Life where
And
it's
people
so
still live
sad.
here to my left right now.
There are some people that have
Getting
moved
killed,
in
and if
here.
it was
And
spread
look at that boom.
out, and
Factory.
only killing the voters he
Wow.
wants to.
What is that factory right there?
That's Marathon Oil,
That's an oil refinery.
second largest in the United States.
There's a few homes as
Wow.
we're driving through. Seems insane to live wedged in between two factories. All this pollution from all ends. It's gotta dramatically reduce your lifespan. I can smell a much stronger smell in the air. Closest comparison is what I tasted and felt in Ohio when the train wreckage spilled a bunch of stuff. Hey there. I just want to ask, do you ever have difficulty breathing out here?
We breathe all the pollen and dust.
Okay. Is there any history of cancer with your family or anyone who's lived with you?
My mama had breast cancer.
Did she live here?
Yeah. Got a little brother that died of leukemia.
Do you feel like they're responsible for the cancer?
Or the chemicals, I guess.
Jeez.
Don't shoot me,
Not
don't shoot me,
Ohio.
don't shoot me.
Yeah, he did a video in Ohio, and it was pretty wild.
Hey, how are you? I was wondering if you knew anyone who's had cancer out here.
My neighbor has skin cancer.
Skin cancer? Okay.
Took over all his face.
Do you think it's because of the factories around here?
I have no idea. Cancer is everywhere. Everybody has cancer.
Have you lived here
Dang,
your
this
whole
is
life?
kinda
Yeah,
scary.
I moved here when I was a baby. And I'm 76.
I wouldn't have thought
Wow.
it was 50.
Aw, Tyler using his
Two
Riz.
factories.
Their accents.
We have dust.
Dust?
Dust.
Okay.
Ooh, I think that's why we got cancer. I hope I don't have
Yeah.
cancer.
No, me too. Has any of your
Yeah,
family
she's
members
a
had
nice-
anything?
My dad died of cancer.
Would you move out of here if you could?
Oh no,
No, this is home.
I'm gonna die.
Cynthia, it's been a pleasure. It was great to meet you.
Oh, yeah, he's
I know, I'm chilly. The consensus is that everyone out here knows someone, if not
Good
their
night,
family member,
too.
neighbor, or
Love you,
themselves
man.
who's gotten cancer out here. This is kind of crazy.
And keep in mind, this isn't even the
You're the
street
best, bro.
closest to
Feel
the
better.
Danka factory where people are most affected by cancer. Speaking of companies that exploit you for profit, I recently found out I was still being charged $50 a month for an expired security system I don't own anymore. Instacart, Wi-Fi on Pocket Money, the sponsor of payments and on subscription. Use $1 million members link in around and see who else has been affected by
Guy
cancer.
was like racist for going to these places and saying how bad it was. But like I never would have heard about Reserve, Illinois. Bro, people hate, there are so many people who hate on Tyler, bro, because like he like makes money off going to these places and doing this shit. It's like, bro, dude, any job you work is exploiting someone. Bro, everyone's getting exploited. If you work out at a grocery store, someone's getting exploited for your paycheck. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting exploited by someone. Everyone's getting exploited if you're working a job. Like, I don't get it. Like, if this guy wants to make his money filming a YouTube video of a place that you're not gonna go, then, like, what do you give a fuck about?
Valley. As we made our way to 30th, Robert pointed out a huge graveyard wedged in between two factories.
Oh my god.
There it is. And you have loved ones in this cemetery?
Oh, all of my folks are. This is the largest black cemetery in the parish. Look at this. How do you do a funeral service here? How you do a burial? Look at what they do to people, man. Look how inhuman this is. Do you see the size of this cemetery?
That's insane.
Wow, you can smell it big time now,
Robert. The situation.
Pretty dystopian.
I don't think it's exploitation, but like the definition, like he's profiting off of someone else's circumstance, which is like the definition of exploitation, I guess, when it comes to working. So like, but like exploitation, I don't really think is always like, you know, he's not hurting anyone.
This is a nightmare.
I'd say it's only
As
helping.
we're here, is this an emotional experience? Do you get frustrated?
It's always emotional.
Yeah.
My mom, all of my family, they're just a little further back in here, but they're scattered.
Good,
all
Kinsey.
over here, man.
Keep a positive
people that
mindset.
started doing, look, they're building on top.
Oh, these are two coffins on top of one another.
They got to stack them. We're the sacrificed people.
They're stacking coffins there?
And the most tragic irony here is a lot of these people died due to the cancer received from the factories they are now wedged in between after death. We're headed to 30th and 31st. This is the part of town that lives the closest to this factory and is logically getting the most cancer. We're gonna drive through here, knock on some doors, see who we can talk to. Seems like everyone and their mother out here is getting cancer, and there's not much you can do about it. On my way to 30th, driving through factory after factory, I saw this street full of people on my way and gave it a quick knock.
This neighborhood looks
I wanted to ask
new.
if you knew anything about Cancer Alley. Do you know people that have gotten cancer out here?
My husband has prostate cancer.
Really? Okay.
I'm not from here, but I know a lot of people that.
Okay.
I mean, like, many.
Why would you move there?
Any opinions and experiences with cancer out here in Cancer Alley?
Only thing I'm gonna tell you is
Okay.
my sister,
Yeah.
she died of cancer.
She died?
She died March 8th of 2023 of this year.
I'm sorry to hear.
Cancer.
So we've noticed it's very controversial to talk about this out here. Is it a sensitive subject?
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
because we lose so many people. In my family, just alone, we done lost 12 people.
That's crazy. How does the city look at cancer out here? Are they fed up with it? Are they
Fed up.
Yeah.
Every time you turn around, we losing somebody to cancer.
Do the factories and the companies ever say, hey, here's some money, sorry about that?
No.
No?
No.
You think the factories will ever shut down?
No, not Marathon. Marathon will never.
It's too big?
Too big. But them,
Damn.
they can close down.
Danka?
Yeah, Danka can close down because the things we see at night, you can smell it in the air.
I can kind of taste it, yeah.
Yeah, you can. Like
Yeah.
I said, I just lost my only sister.
Yeah. Wow.
Of March of this year. My sister was living on 30th Street.
Okay, so the closer you get to 30th, the closer you are to the
You're in the
factories.
backyard. You're in the backyard
Okay.
of the plants and everything.
Having walked through a few
That's
streets leading up to
crazy.
30th, we had finally made it to the zone theoretically
This is
most
sad.
affected by chloroprene
It's good
and
to know
in turn,
about, though.
cancer.
They're
Good
the
knowledge
closest
to
to the
have.
factory on this street right here.
Do you guys know anyone who's gotten cancer out here?
Everybody you look at.
Really?
Yeah. Talk that old lady.
Right here? The tarp? Okay, thank you so much.
What a
Hey,
fun
sorry to
job
interrupt.
going on
And we're making a
projects,
little
make YouTube
documentary
videos
about
like
Cancer
this.
Alley. You know anyone who's gotten cancer out here?
This household, that household, that household, the one up further.
They all do?
Yeah. And nothing's been done about it for 50 years, so.
Oh my
seed is already
God.
planted. It's in the ground. All my trees
Any
are
weirdness?
dead.
It's too late almost to...
Yeah.
Yeah?
My parents had cancer 3 times.
Did they
Oh my
link it
God.
Breast cancer, which was inherited.
I try my
then
best,
she had
Chloe.
colon cancer. Then she died from ovarian cancer at 89 years old.
Jeez, okay. Thank you for sharing.
My brother, yeah, he died though.
Of cancer?
Yeah, I know a few people that done died of cancer. My niece, a good bit of people.
Is it something that's talked about out here?
But yeah, kind of swept under the rug.
Did your brother live on this street?
He used to live here. Matter of fact, he worked at that plant.
He worked at the plant?
Mm-hmm.
Did he
Wow.
ever think that they had any influence on him getting cancer?
Can't really say.
Okay.
Don't bother me. I've been here since I was 7 years old.
Okay. Do you think it's overblown, the fear of what the factories are doing?
I kind of think it is overblown. To me, it don't bother. I like my spot. My dad built this and he died from like prostate cancer.
Do you think that may have been influenced by the
I don't mean to laugh at that, but like, just like how he's like, I don't think it has anything to do with cancer's overblown, and then he says that. Like, it's not funny, but like at the same time, like, what the fuck?
This is some evil corporate shit right here. It's a subtle massacre at play, done through the air, the water, and the soil.
After knocking on nearly every door in 30th, I finally met someone besides Robert who is at least trying to fight back.
Do you know anyone that's gotten cancer by chance?
Well, for sure.
Yeah?
Everybody around here has gotten cancer. And so that's why I've joined the fight, because of what, it's not us saying it, it's either we're going to believe the government or we're going to believe these guys. By the time we find out things, it's too late. But I'm in a group called Concerned Citizen of St. Joe Parish.
We spent the day with Robert.
Yeah, Bobby Taylor.
Yeah.
We're trying to get to the bottom of this, you know? We won't be able to wait on the federal government.
Wow.
It takes so much longer for them to prove something that's very detrimental to our health.
That may be too late by the time they prove it.
Yes.
I think that the factory
People
should pay some
were
sort of
using
like reparations.
everything with what you're smoking, with what you're drinking, everything, bro. Like, denying there's no connection. No, they're not denying it. They said it's a sacrifice zone. So I think that, there's no denying it. Like, it's all true.
For the people it's given cancer to?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's on the back burner.
Yeah.
The forefront is to get the...
I mean, bro, like, does the government know things are happening versus have they publicly acknowledged it? It's a whole different story, too.
the environment.
Sure. And you guys obviously to be safe and healthy.
Yes. I mean, not only for us, but the next generation.
Sure.
Generations to come.
Do you think you guys will be successful?
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we've seen some results. I mean, as you can see now, I mean, look at the attention that it's brought.
Do you think if the community rallied together, they could halt what they're doing over there, or is it unstoppable?
I think we can, but then again, we're facing a big plant.
Sure.
But I think we can. We get together, we rally, I think we can do it.
Okay. It seemed like the worst was behind Cancer Alley and a brighter future was ahead. Until you learn that companies are working to build even more factories out here.
This little community here of Wallace, I think's got about 850 people.
And they want to put what here?
They want to put a gigantic grain elevator.
Okay, another one.
Another grain elevator.
Ruin these people's lives now too.
Yeah, can you imagine this little community here with that thing sitting right here? That thing gonna be almost 300 feet tall.
If they were to put this granary right here, what would happen to your home? How would it impact you?
More than likely, if they did put the plant there, we would probably have to end up moving out of the area. And, no one wants to leave the home. I mean, I've been here like 56 years, and
wow,
we're trying to prevent this from happening.
If a plant were to end up in this guy's backyard, his property value would dramatically decrease overnight. And who would he sell the house to in good conscience, assuming anyone would even want to buy it? And with more factories being built, more jobs are being made. And these people might need a new place to live. By new, I mean brand new.
Robert, final phase selling now. They're building more homes? Why?
Most of the people who they're aiming at are from out of town, so they're too familiar with what's going on here.
Do you think they're at risk of getting cancer higher than someone else?
Well, certainly if they're living in this area.
Is that something that would be disclosed to them upon purchasing the home?
It's like mill houses.
This is evil.
Futuristic mill
Honestly,
houses.
Disclose this at the very least. Come on. Kids riding their bikes by me. Kind of sad, right?
Remember I told you about the 0.2? That was at a 70-year risk of living. Children today, born today, are reaching that 70-year level by the time they are 2 years old.
What? That's insanity. Look at that. For sale, all these brand new homes. The brand new residential community right in Cancer Alley. It's kind of evil.
Wait, really?
People are moving.
A brand new residential alley in this area?
You don't want to acknowledge that you're in Cancer Alley.
Bad.
What will it take for all
out. No, dude. So listen, one of the worst things for pollution, especially like if you're within the immediate area, are huge places where there's grain, cattle, animals. They're even worse than the chemicals. Because when you think about grain, especially if it's imported from other countries, there's animals in it. There's so much dirt and germs, and the dust that goes through the air, and there's different gets into the soil. It gets in, and there's all. It comes out on boats, and it's terrible because they have to wash and clean the grain and process it. It's come over completely raw. And like grain, I don't know what it is about grain, but I just heard this, like it's super dangerous to work with too. It's explosive and flammable as well. Like, I don't know what it is about grain, bro, but it can fuck shit up.
These companies to stop
in large amounts.
factories here.
For the
And
people to
living
be
near
able to
animal processing plants, not like farms, like local farms, stuff like that, but animal processing plants. So where I lived in North Carolina, the Tyson chicken processing plant was about an hour or 45 minutes away, and holy shit, bro, was that place scary. You would just see chicken trucks, like the nastiest chicken trucks going in, just smoke billowing. It would reek of ammonia. Everyone I knew who worked at that chicken plant, and there were a fucking ton of people around me who worked at that chicken plant, hated it, always had headaches, always this, and just complained about how fucking terrible the chemicals were inside of a Tyson chicken plant. Bro, by the way, I had an uncle who worked there, and when he said he made Tyson chicken strips, they would squeeze it out of a tube. They squeezed the chicken out of a tube onto the thing, and then they breaded it. And then they got breaded and cooked.
To exercise their rights. They come here primarily because we're the low-hanging fruit, which means we're the most vulnerable group. Black people are the poorest people here. We got 400-year history here. We're still at the bottom. They're aware of everything that this plant is doing and what it can only lead to, but they're not doing anything about it. They got the power to tell that plant, no, you can't do that. That's against human nature. That's against humanity.
Yet it's important to know that DuPont Danca is the only facility in the US that produces chloroprene. This chloroprene is then synthesized into a rubber known as neoprene. Neoprene is found in use in rubber gloves, laptop sleeves, electrical insulation, orthopedic braces, etc. If we didn't buy things made out of neoprene, the plant producing neoprene wouldn't even exist. While it's easy to point fingers at corporations and call them evil, while we're the ones wearing a shirt made from a child's sweatshop in
well, to be fair, Kinsey, they probably weren't made like that back when you were a kid.
In China,
actually, you're pretty young.
Video
Probably.
From our lithium-ion battery-powered cell phone made using cobalt, mined using child slaves in Africa. Who's really to blame for all this? Well, it's poor.
Listen, chat. Don't look up how your iPhone or laptop is made. If you learn about how they make these batteries for our laptops and phones, it'll break your heart.
Poor black people in Louisiana for now. Maybe next week it'll be you and your family. Also, whoever has the most viewed TikTok or YouTube short using a clip from this video, I'll send you $500. Post however many times you want, but you must tag my TikTok/YouTube @ and put YouTube Tyler Oliveira in the title/description.
Hell yeah. That's the